Hi students, welcome to Shekhar's history classes. In this class, we will study about early medieval India with particular reference to Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakutas, the timeline of Rashtrakutas is from 753 to 973. During this time period, Rashtrakutas were very powerful kingdom in Maharashtra and Karnataka regions. They based their capital near Gulbarga and Manyaketa. From there, they expanded their territory into different directions. And they are very famous in our history for patronizing art and culture, particularly in Ellora region. Ellora caves are very popular. Even the Ellora caves have got UNESCO World Heritage tag. UNESCO World Heritage Site is located in Ellora. The contribution for these monuments mainly came from Rashtrakutas. So, with respect to art and culture also, Rashtrakutas are very powerful and very important for us. UPSC nowadays asking questions related to early medieval period. Many students are feeling difficulty also in answering because during this timeline there were many kingdoms. Because of political fragmentation, for students also it is a confusing area to understand what kind of political developments were going on from 752 to 1200 particular time period. Let us see Rashtrakutas. In separate classes we will study other important kingdoms that existed during this time period. Here we particularly focus on Rashtrakutas and what kind of questions that already asked in UPSC exam and what kind of questions can be asked in future. Before entering into Rashtrakutas in detail, let us see who are the contemporaries of Rashtrakutas. This map is given in NCERT only. Here you can see Rashtrakutas are based in Deccan. The neighboring areas, Gurjar Pratiharas were very powerful. However, they were not the only one. They belonged to Rajput clan. They are not the only Rajput state that existed around this time period. At least 36 Rajput states existed, or at least 36 Rajput clans were there during this time period. Sometimes Gurjar Pratiharas were very powerful, sometimes Chauhamanas or Chauhans or Chandelas, Paramaras. Different type of Rajput clans became powerful over a period of time. In UPSC also, this question was asked that who are the after the decline of Guptas, who were the important rulers. Similarly, after the decline of Harshavardhana, who were the important rulers. In this context, UPSC is also asking questions in this particular dimension. Now, Rashtrakutas are contemporaries to these Rajputs in the northern side. In the eastern side, Palas. Palas, Gurjar Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas are very popular in our history because these three kingdoms fought for Kanauj. I will show you the map here. Here you can see Gurjar Pratiharas. In their lifetime, at max they controlled this much area. Initially they were very small, but they expanded their territories. So when they were expanding their territories, it is natural that they are going to conflict with their neighboring states. Gurjar Pratihara. Similarly, Palas were also trying to expand their kingdom in northern Gangetic plain based in Bengal. Rashtrakutas, they are trying to expand their territories from Deccan to northern side. Now you can see these people used to conflict. Their main aim for capturing these areas was to capture Kanauj. This is why this particular phase is also called as tripartite struggle period. Tripartite means that three parties fought for Kanauj. Before the emergence of these kingdoms, this was the political fragmentation after Guptas. Guptas declined by 550 AD. Guptas declined by 550. The starting period of Gupta era is 320 AD. From 320 to 550, Guptas were powerful. They unified northern part of India and they controlled other parts of India also in indirect way. However, after 550, different small kingdoms became very powerful. Among them were like Pushyabhutis based in Taneshwar, Maukaris in Kanauj. Now you remember Kanauj. This question is asked in UPSC. Maukaris were controlling Kanauj. Later Guptas came and they controlled Pataliputra region. Here, please remember, later Guptas do not have any relationship with Imperial Guptas. Imperial Guptas means those who ruled from 320 AD to 550 AD. At the same time, here Gaudas were ruling. Now, while studying Harshavardhana history, Harshavardhana belonged to Pushyabhutis dynasty. Somehow, he tried to control northern part of India. He conquered Maukaris, he conquered later Guptas, and he reached his power till Bengal region, and he controlled northern part. While he was trying to expand his empire into south Deccan, here more powerful Chalukyan ruler Pulakeshi II. He was more powerful. He defeated Harshavardhana. This information we get from Aihole inscription given by court poet of Pulakeshi II. His name is Ravikirti. All these names are important with respect to UPSC prelims. Here we know about Harshavardhana from his historian Banabhatta. He was a court poet of Harshavardhana. He has written a book called Harshacharita. From Harshacharita, we know about greatness of Harshavardhana. However, remember, he was defeated by Pulakeshi II, but Banabhatta did not mention this defeat of Harshavardhana. So, this particular fact about Harsha we get from Aihole inscription of Ravikirti. Ravikirti belonged to the court of Pulakeshi II. This shows the strength of Pulakeshi II, and at the same time he was also fighting with Pallavas in southern India. So Harshavardhana, when Harshavardhana was there in North India, Chalukyas were very powerful in Deccan region. Their contemporaries of Chalukyas were Pallavas. Now how we connect to Rashtrakutas? Rashtrakutas were feudatories of these Chalukyas. In our history, these Chalukyas were called as Badami Chalukyas because their capital was Badami. Badami Chalukyas. Now I will take a sheet and I will explain you. Now Chalukyas were there. Their capital is Badami. Rashtrakutas were feudatories of Badami Chalukyas. Chalukyas were also very powerful. They expanded their territories in the eastern side as well. They expanded their territories to east. They tried to expand their territories into south also. While they were trying to expand their territories, they had conflict with Pallavas and they tried to conquer northern side as well. So naturally Harsha and Pulakeshi II are going to conflict and they had a battle near Narmada river. Now Rashtrakutas were feudatories. Gradually, when Chalukyas of Badami got weakened, Rashtrakutas overthrew Chalukyas rulers and finally they established Rashtrakuta dynasty that took place in 753 AD. A person called Danti Durga. He was the founder of Rashtrakuta dynasty. In 753, he established Rashtrakuta dynasty in Deccan by replacing Chalukyas. While these developments are going on in Deccan region, similarly in northern part also, after Harsha's death, Harshavardhana died in 647 AD. After Harshavardhana, once again, before Harshavardhana, political fragmentation. After Harshavardhana also, once again, political fragmentation. Different type of rulers came, and a ruler called Yashovarman. He tried to unify for some time period, and later Rajputs became very powerful. Rajputs became very powerful from Rajasthan, Malwa and Gangetic plain. Different type of Rajput clans started ruling around this particular time period. That is how from these Rajputs, one of the important and powerful Rajputs were Gurjara Pratiharas. That is how Gurjara Pratiharas started ruling in northern side. Now here in Deccan, Chalukyas replaced by Rashtrakutas. Now Rashtrakutas have different neighbors. In north side, Gurjara Pratiharas, and in the eastern side, these Badami Chalukyas, when they tried to expand their territories into eastern side, a separate branch of Chalukyas emerged in Vengi region. Vengi is coastal area of present day Andhra Pradesh. When they expanded their territories here, Pulakeshi II brother Kubja Vishnuvardhana, he started a new branch of Chalukyas. Now in order to differentiate them, they were called as Eastern Chalukyas. Now Rashtrakutas were replaced, Chalukyas were replaced by Rashtrakutas. Now Rashtrakutas' neighbors were Eastern Chalukyas. So somehow Eastern Chalukyas continued the legacy of the Badami Chalukyas. Now naturally Badami Chalukyas and Rashtrakutas were enemies. After the decline of Badami Chalukyas or replacing Badami Chalukyas, now that enmity also continued in the form of battles between Rashtrakutas and Eastern Chalukyas. They will continue fighting northern side also with Gurjara Pratiharas, now Eastern Chalukyas. In south, here a dynasty called Western Gangas. They were there for very long time. Since Gupta time period onwards, Western Gangas were there, but they were very small initially and gradually they became very powerful. After the decline of Rashtrakutas, they commanded very powerful near Mysore and Bangalore regions. If you remember Bahubali statue related to Jainism, which is located in Shravanabelagala, it was constructed under patronage of Western Gangas. So Rashtrakutas now have the neighbors of Gurjara Pratiharas, Eastern Chalukyas and Western Gangas. And in the end of Rashtrakutas empire around 900 AD onwards, they are going to fight with Cholas as well. So these are the different contemporaries of Rashtrakutas. When they were trying to expand in different directions, they are going to have conflict with all these people. Broadly, you remember this. With respect to UPSC prelims point of view, they mainly ask with respect to art and culture. Rashtrakutas mainly based their capital in Manyakheda. Initially, they started their capital region in Gulbarga region and gradually they created their own capital, that is Manyakheta. Badami was the capital of Chalukyas and Rashtrakutas created their own capital, that is Manyakheta. However, here in Ellora region, Ajanta was already powerful, popular by this time period. It was so many Buddhist During Gupta time period itself, we find a lot of Buddhist paintings in Ajanta. They patronized Ellora region. Ajanta, Ellora is located nearby. Rashtrakutas patronized in Ellora region. Ellora is also a hilly region, and they started carving rock cut temples in Ellora region. Main focus of UPSC goes to Ellora region. Ellora was patronized by Rashtrakutas. So in this context, we have to study the political developments around Rashtrakutas in order to identify the right choice in examination. Now we remember the neighbors. The history is famous in history in early medieval period. It is popularly known for Kannauj triangle battle, the Kannauj tripartite struggle. One of the contenders was Rashtrakutas, another one Gurjar Pratiharas, another one Palas. Now we see how questions are asked. There are so many rulers, starting with 753. They ruled till 973. Now you see here, they came to power by overthrowing Chalukyas. Here, Rashtrakutas were overthrown by again Chalukyas. In between, they fought with Chalukyas. You see, Chalukyas continue to exist, however, names going different. They were called Badami Chalukyas. Here, Eastern Chalukyas. Once again, these Chalukyas are revived and they finally overthrew Rashtrakutas. In order to, already Eastern Chalukyas were there. In order to differentiate from Eastern Chalukyas, now these people were called Western Chalukyas. These people were called Western Chalukyas. Now you can see Badami Chalukyas, Western Chalukyas and Eastern Chalukyas. Different type of Chalukyan branches were there in our history. There is one more Chalukyan branch, that is Gujarati Chalukyas. However, they got another name, that is Solankis. Solankis are Gujarati Chalukyas. Therefore, there are different branches with same name, Chalukyas. You remember different type of branches are there: Badami Chalukyas, Eastern Chalukyas, Western Chalukyas and Solankis. Solankis are also called as Gujarati Chalukyas. How they are connected with Rashtrakutas? Rashtrakutas came to power by overthrowing Badami Chalukyas. They had continuous struggle with Eastern Chalukyas and they were replaced by Western Chalukyas. So this is how Chalukyan dynasty and Rashtrakuta dynasty are connected together. Now broadly, so far we have seen who are the contemporaries of Rashtrakutas. Their capital is Manyaketa or Malkhet. However, they had patronized mainly in Ellora region. Who are the contemporaries also we have seen. Now we will see how questions are being asked related to Rashtrakutas. In early times, UPSC used to ask questions directly. For example, if we take in 2006, you can see who among the following laid the foundation of Rashtrakuta Empire. Answer is Danti Durga. So it was the question asked in 2006, direct question. When it comes to later times, UPSC is asking statement type. However, unless you know the history of Rashtrakutas, you cannot eliminate the statement correctly. Now you see, with reference to history of Indian rock cut architecture, consider the following statements. The caves at Badami are the oldest surviving rock cut caves in India. Barabar rock cut caves were originally made for Ajivakas by Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. At Ellora, caves were made for different faiths. Now you see, initially UPSC asked direct question. If you recollect Rashtrakuta history, then that is enough. Whereas in this case, you have to remember what happened in Badami. That means Badami related to Badami Chalukyas. Barabar rock cut caves. It asks about Barabar. For originally Ajivakas, now you see the different type of concepts that emerged within the same question. Now Ellora, different faiths. Unless you know all these, now you have to recollect Badami Chalukyas, you have to recollect Mauryan dynasty, you have to remember the rock cut caves patronized by Mauryas, and Ellora. Once again, you should know that Ellora is related to Rashtrakutas. So here Badami Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Mauryas, three dynasties within the same question. Now you see the difference. In beginning times it was the condition direct question. Now different type of topics are interrelated within the same question. This is where students take more time to analyze single question. In meanwhile, they lose a lot of time and it is going to affect on the overall score of prelims. For this reason, if you know broadly who are the Rashtrakutas, under what circumstances they emerged as important rulers, and what are the important places in which they left their patronage, then such kind of questions also becomes easier to handle. Here, the caves at Badami are the oldest. No, these people, Badami means Badami Chalukyas. We have seen after Gupta's Chalukyas came, Badami Chalukyas came. Whereas Barabar rock cut caves were the oldest. This is actually the caves at Barabar caves are the oldest surviving rock cut. So this goes wrong. Barabar rock cut caves were originally made for Ajivikas by not by Chandragupta Maurya but Ashoka. This goes wrong. At Ellora, caves were made for different faiths. This is the only answer. Different faith means now we are in 8th century. 750s means 8th century. By this time period, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, all are important religions in Indian subcontinent. In Ellora, different rulers from Rashtrakutas patronized different religions. For this reason, you will find different faiths related monuments near Ellora. If you know Rashtrakutas history, this question becomes easy. There is one more type of question, that is in case of matching the list. Here in 1996, a question was asked. Vishakhadatta, Varahamihira, Charaka and Brahmagupta. These people belong to different dynasties and different time periods. Similarly, in the case of now, if you see the medicine, drama, astronomy and mathematics, different branches of science developed in different parts of the country and different points of time. When it comes to Rashtrakutas also, similar kind of developments took place. Rashtrakutas are popular for patronizing Kannada literature. There are some Jain poets. There is a famous mathematician also in the court of during the time period of Rashtrakutas. Mathematician. Now Ellora we have seen anyway. Faiths, different faiths have different monuments. All these developed during Rashtrakuta time period. So this is related to art and culture in Rashtrakuta Empire. If you know all these aspects, question can be asked matching the list also. They can give different rulers or different people and different subjects related to the people. This type of question also can be asked. Here a mathematician called Mahaviracharya, he was very popular and very famous mathematician in our history. Now whenever there is a mathematician, always you should link with previous mathematicians. This is the reason why I have taken this question. Brahmagupta, he was a mathematician. Before him, Aryabhatta was one of a mathematician of ancient India. There are two more mathematicians in our history, Bhaskara 1 and Bhaskara 2. Now you should add in this list A mathematician from Rashtrakuta, he is Mahaviracharya. So total 5 important mathematicians we will get in our history. Aryabhatta, Bhaskaravan, Brahmagupta, Mahaviracharya and Bhaskara too. Different time periods, different mathematicians. So UPSC can link all these people and they can give different matching. In this way also a question can be asked related to Rashtrakutas. Now, Ellora. This question is not related to Rashtrakutas. However, in choice, Ellora caves can give you confusion because Ellora is related to Rashtrakutas. If you know this, then even if option is containing Ellora, you can easily eliminate the choices. What is the question here? There are only 2 known examples of cave paintings of Gupta period in ancient India. One of these is paintings at Ajanta caves. Where is the other surviving example of Gupta paintings? Here, Lomas Rishi. This is related to Mauryas. Nashik caves. They were related to Satavahanas. Ellora, if you remember, if you know Rashtrakutas history and if you know that Ellora caves were patronized by Rashtrakutas, then this also goes wrong. Answer is Bog caves. That is how you can eliminate Ellora choice also if you know that it is related to Rashtrakutas. Similarly, the paintings of Bodhisattva Padmapani is one of the most famous and illustrated paintings at. If you know directly it is Ajanta, that is fine. If you don't know that, again Ellora may give confusion to you. Ellora is related to Rashtrakutas. Here Buddhist paintings are mainly located in Ajanta caves. Badami Chalukyas, Bog painting, now Guptas. Now you see Badami Chalukyas, different dynasties they can combine and they can give in the same question. This is how you have to see Rashtrakutas. Now we will broadly see different type of rulers and what was their contribution in their lifetime. Here one more aspect we have to remember when it comes to Rashtrakutas. Here we are talking about 753 to 973. This is the time period. Around this time period, at world level also, a major development was going on. That is the rise of Islam. The rise of Islam, the death of Prophet Muhammad 632 AD. Now you see 753 Rashtrakutas, 632. That means we are almost more than 100 years past after the death of Prophet Muhammad. After his death, the caliphate is expanding in different directions. It is going to have an impact on India as well. Here, a famous caliphate, Abbasid Caliphate, emerged. As powerful one, they started their 750 AD onwards and it continued till 13th century, sometimes 16th century as well. Some of the remnants of Abbasid Caliphate. However, Abbasid Caliphate established in 750 AD. Now you see 753 is Rashtrakuta. 750 is Abbasid Caliphate. Now these people, there were invasions started in this part of the Indian subcontinent as well. Here in 712 itself, before the emergence of Abbasid Caliphate, there were other kind of Umayyad Caliphate and they were expanding their territories. Here in 712, Sindh was conquered by Arabs. So Arab-Sindh conquest that took place in 712 under Muhammad bin Qasim, a commander named Muhammad bin Qasim. He expanded Caliphate territories till the Indian subcontinent shores. This development was also going on around this time period. Now in Arabs reached here Arabs conquered Sindh region and also Multan region also came under Arabs. Now they were trying to expand their territories deep inside. However, here Rajputs, they were fighting with these people and they stopped for some time period. There were so many fights. They could stop the invasions of Arabs. However, they could not stop the invasions of Turks. Turks, they started entering into Indian subcontinent through Khyber Pass. So till that point of time, the northwestern part of India was guarded by Rajputs. So now Rajputs, on one hand, they are fighting with the western invaders, and now they had to fight with inside people also. Rashtrakutas, they were trying to expand their territories. Kanauj is located here. Palas, they were also trying to expand into Kanauj. Now Rajputs, this is known as tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle is one of the reasons for weakening Rajputs and Palas and Rashtrakutas also. Gradually Rajputs became very weak. Now there is no centralized Rajput state in this time period. Gradually Turks were able to defeat the existing small kingdoms and finally they established the Delhi Sultanate kingdom. In Deccan also, the power of Rashtrakutas got declined because they had continuous struggle on eastern side, eastern Chalukyas, western Gangas, Cholas, on northern side Gurjar Pratiharas and Palas. Finally they got weakened, finally replaced by western Chalukyas. Here Palas also replaced by Senas, and finally Senas were conquered by Bakhtiyar Khalji when Delhi Sultanate was established. So this is how you have to connect after the decline of Guptas and after the decline of Harshavardhana, how different dynasties emerged, what is the political angle among themselves, and finally how these people were replaced by new kingdoms, that is the Delhi Sultanate. This is how you have to broadly remember Rashtrakutas. Now we will see one by one what is the contribution of different kings in Rashtrakuta dynasty. This we see broadly. Don't worry about these timelines. Just to give you a broad idea that in what timeline they were ruling. Danti Durga, he was the founder of the dynasty. Already previous year question also asked. He defeated Badami Chalukyas. He replaced Badami Chalukyas. Badami Chalukyas are known for patronizing lot of temples. They are located in Aihole, Badami and Pattadakal. Now we remember Badami Chalukyas' contribution to art and culture also great. Here Pattadakal, Aihole, Badami, Pattadakal group of monuments, they are part of UNESCO. Rashtrakutas also patronized in Ellora. Ellora is also part of UNESCO. Who are the contemporaries of Badami Chalukyas? Pallavas. They patronized Mahabalipuram. Mahabalipuram is also UNESCO World Heritage Site. After some time period, Cholas also emerged as powerful one. Here Brihadishwara temple, Tanjavur temple, and also there are other temples. They are called living Chola temples. Once again, they are also part of UNESCO. Now you can see after decline of Guptas or Harshavardhana from 750 to 1200, early medieval period itself, you can see what kind of great monuments developed in the Indian subcontinent. All these developed during 750 to 1200. You will find a lot of temples around the same time period in north also. Chendelas, Khajuraho temples. Here they were called Eastern Gangas to differentiate from Western Gangas. We have already seen Western Gangas are contemporaries to Rashtrakutas. They had fought with Western Gangas as well, located in Mysore region. In order to differentiate this Ganga dynasty, like Eastern Chalukyas and Western Chalukyas, Western Gangas and Eastern Gangas, Konark, Puri, Konark, great temples were built around this same time period. You will find temples like Dilwara, Jain temples, great Jain temples, once again around the same time period. Now, this time period is very popular with respect to art and culture. UPSC is asking questions on these lines. Even literature also developed again in the same region. Same time period. In 2021 itself, one of the difficult questions asked related to literature. They have given three important writers like Bhavabhuti, Hastimalla and Kshemeshwara. These people were flourishing again in the same timeline. So literature wise flourished, temple architecture wise flourished, and new languages. For example, in case of Rashtrakutas, Kannada became very important language. So Rashtrakutas, though the rise of Kannada started during Rashtrakutas. Similarly, regional languages like Telugu in Eastern Chalukyas, Tamil in Cholas, Pallavas and Cholas. So that's how during this time period, also we are calling it as early medieval India. This time period is very famous for the rise of new art, new culture, new languages. They have taken a final shape in this timeline. So you should not ignore in studying this early medieval period. However, you should have connectivity with ancient India because all these developments were built based on so far developed things. Whatever happened till 750 AD, they have taken to the greater heights after 750 AD. Now broadly we will see the rulers. Dantidurga, founder of the dynasty, he defeated Badami Chalukyas. He defeated kings of Lata, Malwa, Kalinga and Nagas. His military expansion. Dantidurga, he constructed two cave temples in Ellora, Vishnu temple and Shiva temple. Brahmanical revivalism already taken place. Next ruler, Krishnavan, he fought with Western Ganga dynasty. He defeated his military conquests and he defeated Eastern Chalukyas. They fought with Eastern Chalukyas and Western Gangas. The famous contribution of Krishna I is the Kailashnath temple at Ellora. This is very famous. A single rock was cut into a huge monument, that is Kailashnath temple. It was created under patronage of Krishna I. This is the region, this is the reign and annihilation of Eastern Chalukyas, fight with Eastern Chalukyas. Govinda III, now you can see the power of Govinda III reached the northern Gangetic plains. He was militarily the most successful emperor. He built largest empire. Kanauj under Rashtrakutas. Kanauj came under Rashtrakutas. Now you can see the power of Gurjar Pratiharas and Palas restricted by Rashtrakutas. After a long time, Ganges under Deccan rule. After a long time means during Satavahana time period also, for some time period, Satavahanas conquered Magadha region, Pataliputra. So for the first time in our history, a Deccan power based Satavahanas reached Gangetic shores. Once again, Rashtrakutas reached Gangetic shores. Amogavarsha, he ruled from 814 to 878. Greatest of all rulers because during his timeline, Kannada literature flourished a lot. He built Manyaketa, new capital. He shifted his capital there also. Got time to promote arts like Chandragupta Maurya and successors like Chandragupta, Ashoka. So once they became very powerful, a lot of empire came under Mauryas. They patronized arts. Similarly, before Amogavarsha, Govinda III enlarged his empire. A lot of empire is under now Amogavarsha. He got time to promote arts also during his lifetime. Great poet in both Sanskrit and Kannada. Himself was a poet. He wrote the first Kannada literary work that is called Kaviraja Marga. So this is also important. I have shown you the list 1 and list 2. List 1 can give the people like Krishnavan, Amogavarsha and mathematician is also will come. On left side in list 1 they can give these people, and list 2 they can ask in what field they are very important. Amogavarsha is important in case of Kannada literature. Krishna 1 important in case of Kailashnath temple. Mahaviracharya is famous in case of mathematics. So he was a writer himself. He has written Sanskrit works and Kannada works also. He patronized Jain scholars. Mahaviracharya, Jain mathematician who wrote Ganitasara Sangraha, very important aspect with respect to mathematics. Jinasena, another Jain monk who wrote Adi Purana and Mahapurana. Jaina monks, they patronized Jaina scholars. Now you see, they patronized Jain religion. They patronized Jain religion. They patronized Hindu religion as well, Hinduism, by constructing Kailashnath temple. So Hindu ideology as well as Jain philosophy they patronized. Arab traveler. I have already introduced you the developments that were taking place in Saudi Arabia and in the western part of Asia. Arab Caliphate becoming emerging, it is becoming very powerful. Now you see, it is the timeline of 814 to 878. Abbasid Caliphate, very powerful, which emerged as powerful caliphate from 750 onwards. So from this particular caliphate, Arab traveler Suleiman, the moment you see any traveler, you always link with previous travelers. Previous travelers like start with Megasthenes. Megasthenes, you know, Fahian and Huan Song, then Ait Singh, then Arab travelers Suleiman in this particular time period. Later in medieval period you will see Al-Biruni, Ibn Battuta, Marco Polo, these kind of travelers you will find in medieval period. In this timeline from 750 to 1200, a Arab traveler called Suleiman, he visited Rashtrakuta Empire around 850. He was the king. Amogavarsha was the king. So this is to give you additional information. Sindh conquest, Muhammad died in 632. Amogavarsha respected Muslims and allowed mosques. In the same time period, Muslim Islam religion also reached Indian shores. Rashtrakutas patronized new religion, that is Islam also. They gave religious freedom to these people. He was one of the 4 great emperors according to Suleiman. Chinese emperor, Egypt emperor, caliph, after caliph and Rashtrakuta emperor Amogavarsha was counted one among 4 great emperors of the world at that particular point of time. Next, Krishna II invaded the Eastern Chalukyas. They fought continuous wars with the Eastern Chalukyas. Next, Krishna III, last great warrior, led successful campaign against Cholas. Cholas also they fought Eastern Chalukyas. He ruled extending from Narmada in the north to Kaveri Delta. So after Govinda III, he expanded territories to maximum extent. Later gradually declined. Gurjar Pratiharas became powerful. Palas for some time became powerful. Krishna III, he tried to expand once again to new areas. At some extent he was successful. He was also patronizing arts. He patronized Shri Ponna, was honored with Kavi Chakravarti. Ponna was one of the Ratnatraya. In Kannada, 3 important people were there who were very important in patronizing or promoting Kannada language. They were called as Ratnatraya, 3 important poets for Kannada literature. They are called Adikavi Pampa, Ponna and Ranna. Pampa, Ponna and Ranna, these 3 are very important for Kannada literature. One of these 3, Pampa, was in the court of Krishna II. Krishna III, Ponna was in his court. Next, last ruler, after him Kalyani Chalukyas or Western Chalukyas. Western Chalukyas capital was Kalyani, that's why they were also called Kalyani Chalukyas. Like in case of Pulakeshi II Chalukyas branch, Badami Chalukyas. The name Badami came from their capital. Like Badami Chalukyas, these people were called Kalyani Chalukyas. They were also called Western Chalukyas because already Eastern Chalukyas were already flourishing around this time period. He was the last ruler. So this is how broadly we have seen different rulers, contribution of these rulers, They contributed for promotion of art also. Kailashnath temple in Ellora, Jain poets, Kannada literature, a important mathematician also during the time period of Amogha one important traveler around this time period, Sulaiman from Arab region. All these aspects you have to remember in understanding Rashtrakutas. So broadly, if you know what is the timeline and if you know who are the contemporaries of Rashtrakutas and also what are the other developments are in the other regions of the world, if you know some broad developments, then if question is asked in statements, you can derive the answer easily. So this is how you have to see about early medieval period with respect to Rashtrakutas. Thank you.